So I'm Nathaniel O'Neill. I'm a postdoc in the Lignani Lab in the Department of Clinical and Experimental Epilepsy at UCL, and I've been here for about 4.5 to 5 years. Yeah, my research to date has really spanned from recording the activity of individual ion channel openings to the activity of single neurons in slices, and now hundreds of neurons simultaneously in awake behaving animals. So I did my PhD up in Edinburgh, and I was looking at a type of GABA A receptor which is in the hippocampus. And about 4.5 years ago I moved to UCL, and originally I started by testing the efficacy of novel gene therapies for epilepsy. Epilepsy is the most common severe neurological disorder, and in the department a lot of new gene therapies are being developed, and I was involved in using patch clamp electrophysiology to test the efficacy of these therapies. So currently I'm now looking at recording simultaneously from awake behaving animals the activity of hundreds of neurons in the brain, and I'm trying to do that to understand some of the circuit dysfunctions and the effect of some of the gene therapies which have been developed in the department on the occurrence of seizures. Right from the start of my PhD I've used the Slice Scope Pro systems fitted with the patch star manipulators, and I still use the same system now at UCL. The Scientifica patch rigs are sort of stable, low noise workhorses, and they just work, and the very low drift and noise which is offered by the patch stars has allowed me to do very long recordings. And my role now involves a significant amount of supervision, and these rigs are very intuitive to use and teach people on, so it also makes the process of training people to patch clamp a lot easier. I think one of the standout features of the slice scopes is their backwards and forwards compatibility. So over the last few years we've wanted to upgrade these systems and add new pieces of equipment, and sometimes these rigs are 15 or 20 years old, they're still working really well, and we're able to really add new optics or LEDs or manipulators, and when you interface that with the existing system you have, they just work. Another standout feature of Scientifica is a lot of the sales team have been patch clampers themselves, or have been working alongside this area of research for years now, so they don't need pieces of equipment explained to them, and they're really able to quickly suggest what pieces of equipment you need. I end up recommending Scientifica multiple times per year. If something breaks on the rig, we're able to have a call with an engineer really quickly who will put a lot of trust in us to try and help troubleshoot the problem, and then if it can't be troubleshot there and then, we're able to send the device off and have it fixed at Scientifica. And there's never any questions asked over how long ago this equipment was bought or anything like that. It's great. The next steps for me are to apply for some early career research fellowships, and in those I want to try and better understand some of the systems level circuit reorganizations which happen during early epileptogenesis, which then lead to the development of epilepsy, and how some of these changes might be targeted by next generation gene therapies. The outcome of my research will try to be address the unmet clinical need of epilepsy. 1 in 100 people in the UK have epilepsy, and of those 30% of people who live with epilepsy have uncontrolled seizures. So we want to try and develop new gene therapies or treatment options to address that unmet clinical need. My ideal future lab would be a lab which integrates wholesale ex vivo electrophysiology and high density recordings in vivo in awake behaving animals. The cell physiology workshop is a critically important workshop in the UK. It was originally run in Plymouth by David Ogden and is now run by Rich Rainbow in Liverpool. And the purpose it serves is to train the next generation of electrophysiologists. And Scientifica provided 2 out of the 4 rigs which we as demonstrators and the students were using during this workshop, and this was critically important for the workshop finding its new home in Liverpool.